me tell you,
Zimbabweans have learned when this woman speaks, they need to listen. Grace Mugabe had once been the president's secretary. But if anyone had ever underestimated her, they will have changed their views by now. She had already made a name for herself as a businesswoman and a self-styled philanthropist. Then, in 2014, she made her way into politics, starting close to the top. She won the battle for leadership of the ruling party's Women's League.
Claire appointed the secretary for women's affairs.
In the process, Grace Mugabe had defeated then Vice President Joyce Mujuru, a veteran and longtime ally of Robert Mugabe, and once seen as a contender to succeed him. Months later, Mujuru was forced out of office and the ruling party following a campaign led by Grace Mugabe. And now, the other once favoured contender, Emmerson Mnangagwa, is also out of a job in similar circumstances.
The Vice President has consistently and persistently exhibited traits of disloyalty, disrespect, deceitfulness, and unreliability.
Grace Mugabe clearly enjoys the support of her husband, and only she has been bold enough to tell him to name his successor. That decision now looks far simpler. Grace Mugabe has mobilized key elements of the ruling party to publicly support her ascent. There are no obvious rivals now, and Grace Mugabe is just 52. Nagila, CGTN, Nairobi, Kenya.
CGTN's Farai Mwakatuya is in Harare and now joins us live with the latest on that. Farai, do we have an official explanation on why Vice President Mnangagwa was sacked, or is it all linked to the Mugabe succession?
Well, it certainly has everything to do with that succession race. The official reason for the sacking is contained in that statement that was read out by the information minister and issued by the president, essentially saying that he's been disrespectful, he's been disloyal, deceitful, and it all comes on the back of months of pressure that has been put on him, primarily by the First Lady and also the president and other arms of the ruling party, ZANU-PF. The former Vice President Mnangagwa was linked to a faction that was believed to have ambitions and was plotting to overthrow President Robert Mugabe. There have been, elements of the party, particularly the war veterans, who've denounced President Robert Mugabe, who've denounced the First Lady, and they say that they're doing so in the name of former Vice President Emmerson Mnangagwa, and that they support his candidature. The former Vice President didn't disown those statements, didn't dissociate themselves from those groups, and so that is why many people believe those allegations that indeed he was plotting and had ambitions to unconstitutionally remove President Robert Mugabe. And so, yes, his sacking has everything to do with that succession race. He was believed to have been threat planning to take over in an illegal and unconstitutional manner, and that's why he's now been removed from that position.
Farai, speculation is rife that the move was aimed at clearing the way for President Robert Mugabe's wife, Grace, to succeed her husband. Is there expectation that she will be appointed to the vice president's position, and how would that be received by the public there?
Well, I think ever since the First Lady was appointed to head the influential Women's League in the ruling party, there have always been, feelings that she's obviously aiming for a much higher, a much bigger political post. And so what has been unraveling and happening now, feeds into that theory. The fact that, she's now angling for this position of vice president. There's a clause within the ZANU-PF constitution that reserves the vice presidential post for a woman, and the fact that it is going to be brought back, it's going to bounce back at this upcoming Congress, is many people believing that indeed it is the First Lady that is being primed for that position, and she will take it up. Already, the Youth League, another influential arm of the ruling party, has already endorsed her, saying, look, we believe that the First Lady has the loyalty that is required, that is necessary for this post, and so she's the one that will take it up. So many people here wouldn't be surprised if indeed the First Lady became the Vice President of this country. And so, you know, that is the situation on the ground. Many people expecting that that will happen at that Congress that is coming up next month. Whether or not it does, we'll wait to see, but the expectation is that it will happen, and not many people here will be surprised.
All right, Farai Mokutuya live for us in Harare. Many thanks, Farai, for joining us.